1993 Section 8 Hockey Championship. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Moorhead Sports Center. For the first time, this facility is hosting the Section 8 Championship, and also for the first time, the Section 8 Championship comes to television. We are more than happy to bring you this premier event in Northwest Minnesota, and we thank the Section 8 Committee for giving us the opportunity to present what we think will be a fine piece of entertainment tonight. The Moorhead Spuds facing the Roseau Rams for the Section 8 Championship. Roseau and Moorhead met in last year's Section 8 Championship game. The Spuds won that game 4-1. Back here on Tuesday night, the two teams won their semifinal games. Moorhead beating Thief River Falls. It was a wild first period. Moorhead's sophomore sensation, Matt Cullen, had 2 goals on the night. Moorhead scored 2 goals in the final 9 seconds of the first period. John Haberlach had a hat trick for the Spuds, who beat Thief River Falls 8-3. Roseau took on their arch rival War Road in the other semifinal game. War Road had won the first 2 earlier meetings of the year, but when it counted, the Rams were the stronger team. Jason Lovejoy scoring there, and Shane Bankston and Todd Hagan each had 2 goals on the night as the Rams advanced to the championship game and settled the score with their arch rival War Road Warriors. What's going through a player's mind now, just minutes before perhaps one of their largest and most important hockey games that they'll play in their high school career? We talked to players from both Moorhead and Roseau and asked them what kind of things are going through their stomach and their heads.
Part of our work ethic is going to help us keep our focus, too. We've done things that way all year. You don't get anything without working.
I know they're a very good team. We've been beaten before. I know we'll have to play our best game of the season to even skate with them, because we know how quick and fast they are, and we'll have to skate with them and just hope for our best game.
We know their style of play, and you know, we want it a lot. I think we want a lot more. We deserve it a lot more, and we'll be ready for them.
Well, I know we've been working hard this whole year, but it's got more to do than with just this year. We've been working ever since we were little kids for this game, for this point, and this being my last year, this is, you know, the most important thing in my hockey career right now.
I want to go out to be a champion. You know, we've had a great season. No one can take that away from us. You know, I've never been able to win a state championship crown, and that's what I want.
Well, it's everything we've worked for all year long, and I guess it's do or die right now.
Yes, indeed, it does mean that much to both Roseau and Moorhead. We'll be back with the championship game right after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Moorhead Sports Center for the Tier 1 Section 8 Hockey Championship game between the Rams of Roseau and our Spuds of Moorhead High. We would like to take this opportunity to extend a warm greeting to the players, coaches, and fans from Roseau. We are pleased to host a community with such a strong tradition in this section. Introducing the cheerleaders and non-starters for the visiting team, the Roseau Rams. The cheerleaders, Heather Olson, Stephanie Fido, Christy Hansen, Kathy Ross, Shayna Berry, Thora Rastrom, and Sue Bottensdahl. Introducing the non-starters for Roseau, goaltender number 1, Ryan Bottensdahl. Defenseman number 2, Kevin Winslow. Defenseman number 3, Jason Henson. Forward number 5, Matt Rofeld. Defenseman number 8, Tony Hammer. Defenseman number 9, Jared Gustafson. Forward number 12, Scott Severson. Forward number 14, Shane Pinkston. Lindbaum. Forward, number 17, Andy Jensen. Forward, number 18, Brian Lindbaum. Forward, number 19, Aaron Stumlin. Forward, number 20, Robert Moser. Introducing the cheerleaders for Moorhead High School. Nikki Anderson, Aaron Caldor, Heather Beaton, Gina Endersby, Kristen Sherman, and Jamie Matson. Introducing the non-starters for Moorhead High School. Defenseman number 3, Rob Grammer. Forward number 4, Brent Knudsen. Forward number 5, Josh Arnold. Forward number 7, Matt Cullen. Forward number 8, Jim Jacobson. Defenseman number 10, Dan Frisch. Forward number 11, Scott Winans. Forward number 12, Jason Redfield. Forward number 14, Rory Corton. Forward number 16, Greg Salvovo. Defenseman number 21, Jared Anderson. Forward number 22, Louis Baquin. Goaltender number 33, Jeremy Gregoire. Introducing the starting lineups for tonight's Section 8 championship game. Lineups will be introduced alternately. Starting in the nets for Roseau is a senior, number 30, Ross Holt. Starting in the nets for the Spuds is a junior, number 30, Troy Brickgate. Starting at one defensive position for Roseau is a senior, number 4, Andy Headland. Starting at one defensive position for the Spuds is a senior, number 6, Justin Wagner. Starting at one defensive position for the Rams is a senior, number 6, John Bufflin. Starting at one defensive position for the Spuds is a sophomore, number 13, Joel Jameson. Starting at one winger position for Roseau is a senior, number 7, Greg Foster. Starting at one winger for the Spuds is a junior, number 15, John Haberlach. Starting at one winger for the Rams is a senior, number 11, Ryan Hopkinson. Starting at one winger for the Spuds is a sophomore, number 17, Ryan Frisch. Centering that line this evening for the Rams is a junior, number 10, Jason Lovejoy. Centering that line for the Spuds this evening is a junior, number 19, Ryan Kraft. The coaching staffs for Roseau. Head coach is Mr. Bruce Olson, assisted by Jim Lundbaum. For the Spuds, head coach Terry Cullen, assisted by Terry Shercliffe.
The officials for tonight's contest out of Section 7, Cal Casalter, Bill Mason. The linesman from Detroit Lakes, Ken Anderson. Dan, we're just about set to go here in what should be a great first period of action. Moorhead obviously is going to want to come out with that quick tempo and set the pace, try and jump all over the Rams, who I'm sure will be very physical here early.
They have to be. That's the way Roseau played Moorhead earlier in the year when they led Moorhead in Roseau. Moorhead rallied for a 4-3 win. Andy Headland, number 4, strong Roseau defenseman. Now Greg Foster knocks it around at neutral ice. Ryan Kraft got a stick on it. He plays it ahead. Now John Bufflin backs it up for the Roseau Rams. 17-7 on the season. There's a shot on net. That was wide. The Rams seeded number 2 coming into the Section 8 tournament. Centering pass out in front. There's a shot that whistled wide as Justin Wegner had an opportunity from his defensive advantage. Play to the far corner now. Bufflin shoots it ahead, and here come the Rams and Ryan Hokinson. This pass went too far for Foster. Chasing it to the far end are John Haberlach and another Roseau player. Todd Hagen puts a shot on goal, and I'll tell you, Tim, that Hagen-Bengston-Severson line has been Roseau's hottest line as of late. They are leading the team in scoring in section play so far.
Well, they're 3 big guys. They play hard. They've had a good year, and as you said, boy, a great game against Moorhead the other night for this line.
You know, it's a line, Bengston with 9 points in 3 section games, Hagen with 8 points in 3 section games, and Severson, the right wing, with another 3. So that line has been the most productive for Bruce Olson. The Spuds have been pretty balanced in scoring in section play. John Haberlach leading the Spuds with 3 goals and 1 assist. Haberlach scoring a hat trick the other night in the semifinal game over Thief River Falls. This is Bengston in control for Roseau, has it nearly taken away, then clears it out to Todd Hagen. Big Todd Hagen down the left wing, gives to Severson in across the blue line. There's a shot on goal, and Troy Brecky comes up with his first save of the year. Brecky, Tim, undefeated on the season at 16-0.
And Roseau with the first chance early. A great shot by Hagen, and Brecky equaled the test. Here comes the other one, almost in.
Josh Arnold with a drive after he got the feed from Greg Salvovold, and that went wide. Tony Hammer now plays it ahead to Severson. Ryan Lundbom got a stick on it. Dumps it into the Moorhead zone. Dan Frisch backs it up. This is Matt Cullen, number 7. And here come the Spuds. Scott Lyons down the left wing. He's ridden to the boards hard by Hedlund. Hedlund again hammers him in. And Lundbom takes over. He's just a freshman, Brian Lundbom. Matt Cullen now plays it back into the Roseau zone, and you talk about a super sophomore, Tim, and that name applies to number 7, Matt Cullen of Moorhead High.
Well, his dad, of course, awful proud of him, the coach, and he's really come on strong the last half of the year.
He has outstanding hands, good size, great skating ability, and he is definitely a prospect who will be high on the list of the likes of Doug Woog and Gino Gasparini in a couple years. After all, he is just a sophomore. A little more than 2.5 minutes into the first period, no score. Moorhead and Roseau in the Section 8 championship game. Haberlach tried to get around the defense. It's held in by Wegner. He put a weak shot on goal. Kraft now battling for it. This is John Haberlach. Ryan Frisch is camped out high in the slot. Kraft with a backhander, but it's partially deflected by Tony Hammer. Now Grammer with a shot. A weak shot that is gloved, and Ross Bolt says, I'll put the squeeze on that one.
Well, Bolt got a good look at that one. As a defenseman, we're doing the job in front. Here's Kraft in here on the forecheck. He did a nice job there. Kept it alive, throws it back out in front. Nobody's there, but it comes all the way out the point where Grammer gets a stick on it. He gets a real weak shot off, right off the pass. But Bolt, with a good look at it, he makes a glove save, and he holds on for a face-off to the right of the Roseau net.
Off the draw at the point. Grammer held it in. And then it was shot deeper into the zone by Jim Jacobson, senior forward. Now here comes Roseau, 3-on-3 against the Spuds defense. Spuds turn him away at neutral ice, then it's shot back in by Severson. Now Grammer, headman pass for Salvovold. And here comes Salvovold, 2-on-2 with Jacobson. Nice job, though, by Bufflin to knock it off the stick, and back comes Bengston. Headman for Hagen. Hagen shoots it in. The Rams and the Spuds get a line change. 11:14 to play here in the first period from the Moorhead Sports Center. The first time this arena has hosted the Section 8 championship. And we thank the Section 8 committee for granting us the permission to televise this, the first time that this game has ever been on TV. It's a big thrill for us.
And I'm sure there's a lot of folks 200 miles away in Roseau that deeply appreciate it, Dan.
Lundbom now in the far corner, taken out of the play by Dan Frisch. Then Louis Paquin got a stick on it. He shot it to neutral ice, and it's knocked back in by the Rams. That's Andy Hedlund. Louis Paquin taken out of the play. Spuds look to break out. That breakout pass, though, is picked off by the Rams. Centering pass. But a Moorhead player, Joel Jamison, was there to pick it off. Now Foster, the first man to the puck. Foster and Frisch battled in front. Oh, as Foster threw a shot across the crease, and it squirted away. Roseau getting some good offensive opportunities here early, Tim.
Well, Dan Frisch is hurt out there. He suffered some sort of a leg injury here, and he's been trying to get off. And it's hurt them inside there. There's a couple of great opportunities for Roseau.
Here comes Ryan Kraft streaking down the far boards. He has Haberlach with him. Haberlach working hard behind Ross Bolt. Gustafson is there. Puck loose in the near circle, and finally the Rams come away with it. Ryan Hokinson. Then Justin Wegner got a stick on it. He flipped it ahead. Now here comes Frisch. Weak shot that Bolt turns aside. Ryan Frisch, just a sophomore. His brother Dan, the senior defenseman for the Spuds. Quickly, out of the zone comes Bankston. Headman pass. He was looking for Hagen, but is picked off by Ryan Kraft. He's in across the blue line. Kraft now had to take it away by Gustafson. And back comes Jim Jacobson. He's got Salvovold in the far wing, but Salvovold's pass was picked off by Gustafson. The pass, rather, for Salvovold picked off by Gustafson. 9:04. Not many whistles in this first period. Fast-paced action here from the Moorhead Sports Center. Tony Hammer now and Salvovold in the far corner. And finally, it's Brian Lundbom for Roseau. Lundbom and Hammer are both back there. Lundbom shoots it ahead to Severson. His backhander is out of the zone. Then it's knocked back into the Roseau zone.
Well, Dan, Roseau's done everything they wanted to early. They've been physical. They've had the better of the opportunities.
Streaking in on a rush to the net was Scott Winans, but his shot was deflected. Winans, the sophomore, and Moorhead has a lot of youth in their forward lines. Just 3 of their top 9 forwards are seniors. This is a strong team that has a bright future for next year also.
Well, they certainly do. And, of course, most of them were here last year in the final against these same Roseau Rams.
Here comes Louis Paquin to Matt Cullen. He tried to get it back to Paquin, but offsides is the call there. 8:01 to play in the first period. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, it's been a great pace here early, Dan. Jim Lundbom told me before the game, we just don't want to get ourselves in trouble early. We want to try and see if we can establish our kind of game, and that's what the Roseau Rams are doing here early.
Ryan Kraft playing it against the far boards, but that was whistled in, and we'll bring the faceoff back to neutral ice.
You mentioned that Bankston line and the success they've had in the section tournament. They're a line that has to come through tonight for Roseau. They're big, they skate very well. They play well against the smaller Moorhead lines here, and they've had a good start in this hockey game.
Justin Wegner skated past the puck, so he'll have to retreat into his own zone and pick it up. Now Ryan Frisch, backhander play to neutral ice. Hedlund, though, dumps it into the Moorhead zone. 7:40 to play in the first period. We're scoreless from the jam-packed Moorhead Sports Center. There were about 800 tickets remaining that went on sale at 6:30. The line started forming at 3:30 this afternoon for those tickets. That pass just a little too far for Ryan Kraft, but he still battles for it along the near boards. Hedlund is there along with Haberlach for Moorhead. Now Kraft in control, backs it up, looking for Haberlach, but Hedlund was there first. He shot it off the near boards. At neutralized, Salvovold gets a stick on it. He's in across the blue line, dragged down, no call there. Now here comes Arnold. Josh Arnold, a backhander, but it was deflected before it reached net. Good job there by Severson, or Roseau can, I believe, get a stick on that shot. Now Bankston plays it ahead. Here's Grammer. Rob Grammer moving to the top of the far circle, still battling along with Bankston down there. You see the puck take a bounce. Now Arnold moving into the circle, driving through the net, shooting it, bouncing around in front. The Bolt got a piece of it. Severson looks to clear to neutral ice. He does. Bankston was there, but so is Moorhead's Dan Frisch, and Frisch shot it to the far corner of the Moorhead zone. Bankston with a drive now that Troy Brecky will try to stop, but it scoots past him and ends up at the near point. Gustafson Shot it deep. Louis Paquin is there for Moorhead High. Centering pass out front, and an alert play there by Moorhead Scott Winans to knock it to the far corner.
And that'll be an offside, and I believe it'll come just outside over the blue line on the face-off. But a good pace here again for Roseau. They're winning the foot races right now, Dan. Moorhead looks a little bit tight here, coming into this championship game of the section in their own arena. Here's the shot by Arnold, and he'd like to have this one again. You're going to see as he drives to the net, he's got a pretty good piece of net to look at there, as Bolt really played the angle a little too close to the pipe. But he got a weak shot off, and Bolt equal to the task there, making the save.
You hit the nail on the head when you said Josh Arnold will want that one back. He did have quite a chunk of net to work with there. But the game remains scoreless. Under 6 minutes to play here in the first period. This is Tony Hammer looking to break it out of the zone. He headmans ahead. Matt Cullen now working against the far boards from Moorhead. He is dragged down, and we're going to have a penalty coming to Roseau. So the Moorhead Spuds will go on the power play with 5.5 minutes to play here in the first period.
That penalty is going to go on Ryan Hokanson. A holding call here. And, of course, he's doing a little legal work on the way over, arguing that one, as the first power play opportunity of the evening will go the way of the Moorhead Spuds. 5:30 left here in the first, and no score. We started this one a little bit late with some of the ceremonial stuff. They're making it up fast. There's only been 3 whistles so far, I believe, in this first period.
We are cruising in this first period. So the Moorhead High Spuds on the power play. At neutral ice. This is Rob Grammer giving to John Haberlach. Into the far circle, he put a shot on that was wide. Paquin goes into the corner along with Gustafson. Now Severson in control for Roseau. Severson shoots it to the near boards. Grammer is there for Moorhead, and so is Louis Paquin. Now Grammer at the point. Throws a shot in, and Bolt just got a piece of it with his stick. That was headed for the red light. Now in front, Haberlach with a shot. And that's cleared to the far side, and now cleared to neutral ice by the Rams with 1:20 to go in the Moorhead power play. Grammer in across the blue line, puts a quick shot on net. It's knocked back out, but it's held in by the Spuds. Arnold with a whistling shot that's high over the head of Rossbold.
Nice block there out the point as Lovejoy just gets a stick on that, as Arnold had some time there to wind up, take the big shot, but Lovejoy getting just a piece of it to send it out of play. We've got 1:12 left in the Moorhead power play opportunity. 1 shot on net to date in this power play, and Bolt again with a rather easy save as he got a good look at it. You aren't going to get many by that kid.
No. Unless
it's a good shot or he doesn't get a look at it. And right now the Roseau defensemen are doing a nice job of keeping things in the perimeter, giving him a good look at everything that's coming his way.
Ross Bolt coming into this game with a 16-6 record at 2.65 goals against average. 1 minute to go in the Moorhead power play. Josh Arnold in across the blue line, hemmed into the boards there by Bufflin. Jim Jacobson played it in front. It's held in by the Spuds. Cullen with a shot, and that's deflected by Hedlund. Hedlund now gets to the puck, shoots it off the near boards. It's held into the point by Justin Wagner. He plays it in front to the slot, and Foster was there, but it's held in by Moorhead at the point. The Spuds being patient on the power play. Arnold to the far circle rather, and Jacobson's shot was deflected and cleared down by Greg Foster. And Moorhead has 22 seconds remaining in its power play. There are 3:47 to play in a scoreless first period. Wagner giving to Arnold. Josh Arnold in across the blue line. Puts a shot on goal, but that was whistled as an offside. And we'll bring the puck back out to neutral ice.
Well, this sectional tournament, of course, has a great history in these final games. The rink is packed as it always is. The glass is packed down at the ends as it always is. You got to get to this one early. The folks out in front told us tonight they were here at 3:30 in the afternoon, and there was a line about 2 blocks long when we got here at 5:30. I can remember many of these, Dan, where I've been to them an hour early and haven't gotten a seat. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of noise in here, and the energy level's real high. 10 seconds left in the the Moorhead power play.
Kraft with a drive. That was wide of net. Hagen tried to plate it out, but it was held in by the Spuds. There's Ryan Frisch getting a stick on it. Frisch now moving in front. Shoots and it's knocked out. Haberlach scores! John Haberlach on the rebound, and Moorhead leads 1-0.
get hot in this sectional tournament as well. As you so often see, just off of the end of a penalty, inside, Ryan Frisch comes away with it. He drives to the net. Nice block in front, but the puck comes right to Haberlach on his backhand, and he makes no mistake putting it over the outstretch. Ryan Bolt there, just putting it outside his pad and into the net. And Moorhead with a 1-0 lead, 3:23 left in the first.
John Haberlach's 20th goal of the season. Moorhead leads 1-0. We'll have more right after this. And we're back at the Moorhead Sports Center as John Haberlach has given the Spuds a 1-0 lead. His 20th goal of the year. It came just as Moorhead's power play expired. Grammer put a shot on net. That's deflected in the far circle. Winans is there now for Moorhead. Plays it behind him at Cullen. Cullen scored from that exact spot in the semifinals against Thief River Falls in a pretty wraparound on Tuesday night. Quickly, back comes Lundbom. Lundbom driving to that, puts a shot on goal, but Troy Brecky is there to stop it. But I'm impressed by that grab by Brian Lundbom because he was pestered all the way down the ice.
Well, of course, that Lundbom name is a real long association in Roseau with hockey. And here you see the young freshman looking a lot like Daddy Mike there as he makes his way down. An old teammate of mine in North Dakota. He fights off the check of Grammer nicely, gets to a bad angle, but he still gets it on net, and Brecky's forced to come up with a nice save. He's got a bright future ahead of him, that one.
As does Troy Brecky, who's having an outstanding year. 16-0 is the Moorhead goaltender as the Rams throw a shot in front. Lovejoy was there, so is Foster. Now Hedlund at the point gets a stick on it. Greg Foster holds it in, throws one in through the slot. Now Arnold plays it ahead to Cullen, but it was knocked away, and Salvovold picks it up. He moves into the far circle, and that thought I heard a whistle. Tim, there's a drive by Wagner. Rebound in front, another rebound, Arnold. And it's
great action there. A couple of Moorhead players, I think, thought that was in the other side of the net, and I thought I heard a whistle too. But let's take a look at it here. You see the shot coming from the point. Bolt with the save. Rebounds lane in front. Arnold with a swipe at it, another swipe at it. Then you see it settle up on the net there, bringing that face-off outside. So the goal seems to have kind of broke the tight spell that Moorhead was going through early, and they've come to life here. The feet are moving a little bit quicker than they had been early.
Off the draw, Jamison played it ahead for Josh Arnold, went too far for him. Bufflin backs it up to Todd Hagen. He's ridden into the board by Salvovold. Centering pass in front. Ross Bolt kicks that aside, plays it to the near corner. Arnold is there, so is Hedlund. 2 minutes to play in the first period. It's Moorhead 1, Roseau 0. Now Hagen threw a pass to neutral ice. Severson is there, backhander to Bankston. But a nice job by Justin Wagner to knock it away as the Roseau team tried to attack down ice. Wagner now in control for the Moorhead Spuds. Now Josh Arnold plays a backhander ahead to Greg Salvovold. Salvovold gets around one man. Hedlund takes over. Hedlund knocks it off the far boards, but it's intercepted. In front, Haberlach, tough angle, it's kicked away. Now Frisch backs up at neutral ice for Moorhead with 1:20 to play in the period. Frisch is dragged down on the play. Play continues. I'm swearing I'm hearing a whistle out here. I just heard it again.
I think that's an awful lot of crowd noise.
Lundbom now. Lundbom got a stick on it, but it's taken away by Big Dan Frisch. He plays it near sides to Haberlach. 1 minute to play here in the first period. Haberlach moving in across the blue line. Still in control of the puck. Throws it in front and is picked off by Lundbom, who plays it off the near boards. Puck squirts across neutral ice into the Moorhead zone, and that'll be an icing call with 43 seconds to play in the period, and we'll bring the puck down to the Roseau end. And in the meantime, we'll take this commercial timeout. John Haberlach's goal at 11:37, the only tally of this period as Moorhead leads Roseau 1-0. Cullen and Lovejoy to face it off the draw. Cullen got it back through a shot that ends up in the far corner. Paquin is there, so is Cullen, and Paquin comes away with it. He's taken off the play, though. Lovejoy got a stick on it for Roseau. Now Cullen giving back to Arnold. Arnold with a shot. Bolt makes the save there. Cullen in front looking for the rebound. Play is whistled dead as the puck squirts away from Ross Bolt, who had some nifty saves there, Tim.
Let's take a look at the replay here. The Moorhead Spuds have come to life. Cullen working inside, gets it to Arnold. He steps out, makes a nice move, and gets a good shot on net. A tough save for Bolt, and then the rebound comes out. And the second shot just kind of dribbles its way up on net, and he covers that up. Well, a face-off with 22 seconds left, Dan, in this first period.
Cullen and Lovejoy face it off. Cullen now checked into the boards by Lovejoy. Arnold working for Moorhead, and Andy Hedlund is there. Now in front, it's knocked around. Cullen with another opportunity, and he had 2 shots on goal as there were bodies banging in front of Ross Bolt on that play.
Well, and the Moorhead Spuds trying to make this a little deja vu of Tuesday night when they scored 2 goals in the last 8 seconds of that first period. Working hard again inside on that forecheck. Cullen tries to step out in front. Bolt with a nice poke check there, but the puck comes in front. It's around his feet. It's loose there. You see Paquin banging around inside. The official losing sight, blowing the whistle. We'll have a face-off with 7 seconds left, and a big face-off at that, with Cullen inside going against, I believe that's Hokinson for Roseau. Bengston, that is, yep.
Bengston wins the draw, plays it to the far corner, and that will about do it for the first period. And Moorhead High trying to defend its Section 8 championship. Its first ever last year, leading after the first period 1-0. John Haberlach getting the goal at 11:37, assisted by Ryan Frisch.
Well, not a great first period, really, Dan, for either team. A play, although it went by very quickly, little herky-jerky going back and forth. Moorhead looking a little tight earlier, you know, and it's a little different for them coming into this one. And if they're expected to win this one by their folks, they were just happy to be here last year. Roseau Rams with a good start, but it was all Moorhead towards the end of this period. Bruce Olson will try and revert that back to the start of the period in the coming period here. Let's go down to Brett. He's with Bruce Olson right now.
All right, Bruce, what were your impressions of this first period? Well, I thought we played very well in our own end. Obviously, we had to. Moorhead's very quick. You know, they just hold that blue line. They send 2 guys in on the puck very hard, and they pinch that D. It's very difficult right now for us to get the puck out of our own zone. We're going to have to sit down and analyze what we can do about that. But I thought overall, we played very well in our own end. How do you get more scoring chances for yourself? Well, that's going to be the key. If we can get the puck out of our own end, we might have to simply just ring that thing, put our wings up forward, try to battle their D up a little bit higher, and hope we can jump one out at center ice and pick one up there. All right, Bruce, thanks a lot. Good luck second period. Thank you. Guys, back upstairs to you.
Okay, Brett, thank you very much. It's a packed house at the Moorhead Sports Center, and the Spuds lead Roseau 1-0 after 1. Tim, we're going to test the hockey knowledge of our viewers out there tonight with our ABC Seamless Section 8 Hockey Trivia. Here it is. What 2 players opposed each other in the 1983 title game and later were teammates at the University of Minnesota? We'll have the answer for you and more coverage from the Section 8 championship game right after this. ABC Seamless Section 8 Trivia. What 2 players opposed each other in the 1983 title game and later were teammates at the University of Minnesota? Tim, you knew this one, didn't you?
Well, it was an easy answer, Dan. Thief River Falls, Tim Berglund and Paul Broughton of Roseau. And, of course, another clue you could have given is what 2 players out of that game are both in the National Hockey League. It's Berglund with the Tampa Bay Lightning, formerly with the Washington Capitals. And then Paul Broughton, of course, with the New York Rangers, enjoying a very successful career there. So, great game. 1-0 game here 10 years ago. It was one of the finest ones in the history of this tournament.
That's right. And the stats from this first period reflective, I think, of the way the period went, probably from the halfway point of the period on when Moorhead really picked up control of the hockey game.
Well, I think so. You know, an excellent analysis of that first period, I think, by Bruce Olson there, as he gave the saves, gave his analysis of the fact that they did play very, very well in their end of the rink. They gave Bolt a good look at all those shots on net, 12 of them that he saved. Of course, gave up the 1 goal. He really didn't have a chance on it. things relatively quiet down at the other end of the ice for Brecky. He only had 3 saves in that first period.
Moorhead's only goal, for that fact, the only goal of the first period coming by John Haberlach at 11:37 from Ryan Frisch, Tim.
And Moorhead was strong on the forecheck throughout the second half of that first period. Here you see Ryan Frisch working hard inside, coming away with the puck, driving to the net, gets the shot away. It's blocked on the way in. Bolt reacting to his shot. It comes back the other way to Haberlach, and he just gets it past the outstretched pad of Bolt, and that was the only goal in the first period.
John Haberlach's 20th goal of the year. It's 1-0. We'll return for the second period of the Section 8 Hockey Championship right after this. Well, Moorhead High was ranked second for much of the season in the Minnesota Associated Press hockey poll. Roseau was also in the top 10 during the first part of the year, then slipped out. Moorhead fell to the number 3 position for a couple of weeks when Cloquet moved into the number 2 spot. And ironically, the winner of this game will meet Cloquet in the final game of the state hockey tournament next Thursday in Minneapolis at 9:45 start at the St. Paul City Center. And Cloquet, Tim, will be a very formidable challenge for either Moorhead or Roseau.
Well, they certainly will. Of course, they've got the interest of the Soviet exchange student who has played very well for them all year this year. And I saw Tom McFarland come into the arena tonight before the game, big pad in hand, going to take all sorts of notes in this one for that game next week, and that'll be a dandy. It'll certainly be, as you said, a very formidable game for whoever comes out of this one tonight.
Yeah, McFarland has the liberty of scouting this game because their section championship game was last night. So he's here watching Moorhead and Roseau tonight.
They and Apple Valley, of course, will have the opportunity to play likely Bloomington Jefferson, as Bloomington Jefferson will play Edina tomorrow morning. And what a year they've had. I see where they've given up 25 goals in 24 games. And, of course, that's the only blemish on the Moorhead Spuds record. And Moorhead's year, Dan, of course, has gone in spurts. They struggled a little bit early, got really beat up by Hill Murray in a scrimmage early in the year. Really had their confidence affected, according to Terry Cullen. Came back, played great. Post-Christmas, were almost invincible and kind of seemed to come back to the field through some illness and injury the last third of the season.
Kraft and Lovejoy face it off. We begin play in the second period. Here's Roseau with a chance. Foster moving in, shoots, and he hits the pipe. Greg Foster had an opportunity. There's a shot in front that Brecky turns aside. And finally, the Spuds clear to neutral ice. Racing down is Kraft. But oh my, what an opportunity for Greg Foster in the opening 5 seconds of the period. Now Moorhead, Arnold, Frisch somewhat banned on the shot, and back comes Jason Lovejoy, a junior center for the Rams. Throws it across the slot. It comes to Foster in the far corner. Wagner takes him out of the play. Now Joel Jamison in control. His pass went too far for Kraft. It ends up all the way down to the Roseau zone where Hedlund retreats. And what a weekend it is for the Hedlund family, who is here tonight watching son Andy. And then tomorrow morning we'll leave for Madison, Wisconsin, because it's Parents' Weekend at Wisconsin. And Todd Hedlund, one of their other sons, plays for the Badgers, so they are putting in some major league miles this weekend.
Well, yeah, they certainly are. And let's take a look here at that shot, that opportunity that came early. Great pass here as Foster drove towards the net, got the shot away, binked right off that post, as Roseau almost knotted this one up right away here in the second period.
Josh Arnold and Shane Bankston face it off. Here's a shot for Grammer that both played easily. It was rising, but it didn't have a lot of mustard on it. Spuds keep it in. Salvavone with a high backhander that was partially deflected. Now the Rams clear the ice. And we'll have an icing call with 13:46 to play here early in the second period.
Well, you heard Bruce Olson mention at the end of the period that they played well in their end. Although they had problems breaking out, they tried to work everything down low. The Moorhead Spuds were all over them. He mentioned here in the second period he might move his wings up a little bit higher and try and just ring around the boards quickly and see if he could beat those Moorhead defensemen to the puck and break it out of the zone. And a couple of quick opportunities for them early here as a result of that.
Matt Cullen and Todd Hagan took the draw, but they'll draw again. To the left of Ross Bolt. At the point, Dan Frisch with a shot that knocked away. Paquin throws one in front. Oh, and it's deflected the other way as Ryan Frisch was camped out to the right of Ross Bolt in the hunt. Now Tony Hammer. Hammer plays it backhander to the far boards where Severson picks it up, shoots it ahead, but Rod Grammer is there to pick it off for Moorhead. Grammer in across the blue line. Now Paquin. Paquin at the top of the circle throws a weak shot in front, and Hammer comes away with it for Roseau. He plays it ahead for Hagen. It's held in by Paquin. Now Cullen, high slot. His shot partially deflected by Gustafson. Gustafson ahead to Bankston, but at the point it's Grammer. Paquin looking for the deflection and went wide of him, and Hagen in control now along the near boards. 2 minutes into the second period, Moorhead leading Roseau 1-0 in the Section 8 championship. The winner goes to the Tier 1 state tournament, which begins next Thursday at the St. Paul Civic Center. And here comes Brian Lundbom. Lundbom shoots, and it was a nice play by Grammer, who partially deflected that shot in the near circle. Puck play to neutral ice now, racing down to the other end. Here's Haberlach. Haberlach puts a weak shot that ends up in the near corner. Frisch is there for Moorhead. Ryan Frisch in front. There's a shot. That was Ryan Kraft with the opportunity, and that was knocked away. Kraft in control again in the far corner. Hedlund is there defensively for the Rams, and finally the puck is played to neutral ice and past everyone, and that'll be an icing call. 1-0 Moorhead in the Section 8 championship game. We'll announce our Sellens player of the game afterwards. In the meantime, off the draw, Jamison put a shot toward net. It bounces around. Now Lovejoy takes over for Roseau. Lovejoy played it ahead for Foster, but he was in too soon, and offside is the call.
Lovejoy, of course, was out of the Roseau lineup there in the middle of the season there with an injury, and they really missed his offense when he was gone. He's come back and been very strong through section play. Roseau playing very, very well at the right time of year, Dan.
Lovejoy's had a few concussions. He suffered one last Saturday in the opening round of the Section 8 tournament. But that's kind of a scary situation, but he plays on, the junior center iceman. And what some fine center icemen we have here tonight. Lovejoy, Josh Arnold, Ryan Kraft, Matt Cullen. My goodness.
Right down the middle
quality there
for both teams. That's right. And you really see the jump these Moorhead forwards have again early in this period on that forecheck. They're all over the Rams here again.
Hedlund plays it ahead, and Justin Wagner retreats. And again, the stoppage in play, and will come all the way back down to the Roseau zone. We'll have more ABC Seamless Trivia coming up for you between periods 2 and 3. Brett Garland will talk to Moorhead coach Terry Cullen at the end of the period also.
I'm sure he gets a little advice from Matt along the way. And Matt plays an awful lot like his father, and his twin brother Timmy used to play. Had the opportunity to play with those fellas a little bit. Couple of great guys and excellent hockey players. And Matt, as a sophomore, has had a great year.
He sure has. Matt Cullen on the year, 14 goals, 26 assists for 40 points.
And
now Lovejoy.
Most of those, Dan, have come in the latter part of this year as he's just come on and on and on and just played great.
Jamison gets a stick on it. Now racing the puck. Lovejoy way out of the net. Foster throws a shot out front of him. Jamison. Oh, what an outstanding chance for Foster, but Jamison was scooting across the front of the net right when he let the shot off, and it hit Jamison. Otherwise, that would have been 1-1.
Recchi really dodged the bullet there. A poor decision, and he almost paid for it.
Play at neutral ice now. Wagner retreating from Moorhead. He has it taken away by Bankston. Centering pass in front. Oh, big save by Brecky off the drive from Severson. And Troy Brecky stones Severson, and Moorhead protects its 1-0 lead. Cullen throws a shot in front now. And Severson has it. Severson plays the backhand to Todd Hagen, who in turn gives to Bankston. Bankston taking off the play. Here's Hagen breaking in, and he couldn't get a shot off. The puck trickled off the end of his stick. There's a drive by Gustafson. It's held in by Hammer at the circle. Tony Hammer plays it in front. And here's Cullen. It's a 4-on-1 for Moorhead. Cullen to Grammer. That shot is knocked away, and Hagen has it, and he plays it ahead to Bankston, but it went off his stick. Good end-to-end action now as Tony Hammer moves in. He looks for a centering pass. And Dan Frisch got a stick on it for Moorhead. Hammer at neutral ice. He tries to hammer it into the Moorhead zone, but it's deflected. Paquin nearly got a stick on it, and he heads to the bench, and Moorhead gets a shift. Now Lundbom along the near boards. Wagner throws a shot to the far corner. Ryan Frisch is there first. The sophomore winger for the Spuds. Now Kraft, the playmaker, with a backhander in front, but it's taken away by Gustafson, who plays it ahead to Hagen. It went off his stick. Haberlach got a piece on it. Here's John Haberlach. He has Frisch streaking down the slot, but he couldn't get it to him because Gustafson has it tied up. Weak backhander in front, and Bolt covers up as Ryan Frisch was looking for a possible rebound.
And again, the forechecking by Haberlach, creating that opportunity. He gets a weak shot on net. Let's take a look at it. You just see Haberlach fighting his way through this check here. He comes away with it, steps out in front, tries to put a deke on there, and just kind of trips, gets a weak shot on net. Bolt is just able to get that rebound before Frisch is there to put it away. And the goaltenders are taking over the middle part of this second period as we're going end to end.
9:25 to play in the second period. It's still 1-0 Moorhead. Bufflin got a stick on it. Hokanson. Now comes Foster. Foster in front for Hokanson. He shoots, and Brecky comes up with a save again. Now a whistle, and we'll have a
interference penalty
coming.
Going against Moorhead. And that's going to be Jacobson that's going to go off on the interference. That came away from the play. And Roseau, you know, haven't had a lot of shots on net, Dan, but boy, they've all been a high quality. And a lot of times when you play with a team that's been as dominant all year as Moorhead has been, a goaltender doesn't get his dues. And Troy Brecky, the senior, has been just nothing short of outstanding here in this second period. So 9:08 left in the second. Roseau with their first power play opportunity tonight. And let's not forget that it was just at the end of a power play that Moorhead scored their goal back in our first period.
Spuds quickly clear the zone. Ross Bolt shoots it ahead to neutral ice. Matt Cullen got a stick on it for Moorhead. Cullen plays it to Louis Paquin. Paquin has it nearly taken away. And now Josh Arnold plays it to the near boards. Here's Drake Foster. He's tied up there by Cullen and Paquin, and finally Foster comes away with it. Foster with a weak shot. Here's Hokanson in behind Troy Brecky. Hokanson skates to the far corner. Looks for Lovejoy, but it's picked off nicely there by Cullen, and he clears the zone.
And you don't think that Terry Cullen has faith in Josh Arnold? He's got him out there killing off the penalty at defense.
Does a little bit of everything for this hockey team, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
And again, the Spuds clear the zone. This time it was Joel Jamieson, the sophomore defenseman. 1:10 to play in the Roseau penalty. The first 50 seconds ineffective. Tony Hammer and Rob Grammer met the puck time, and it popped up into the Roseau bench, and that's why you heard the whistle, and we'll bring the face-off to neutral ice. Moorhead won the earlier meeting between these two teams in Roseau 4-3. It was late in the regular season, a game in which Roseau dominated early and the Spuds rallied to win. I think a real gut check for Moorhead because of the fact that they were playing on the road, playing a quality team like Roseau, and were able to rally from that game, Tim.
Well, and of course, in that game when Roseau was up 3-0, they missed a breakaway and hit a post, so it could have easily been 5-0.
And this time it's Ryan Kraft clearing the zone. Haberlach and Gustafson race to the other end. Now Todd Hagen has it nearly taken away. The puck squirts to neutral ice. Rob Grammer plays it ahead. 30 seconds remaining now in the Roseau power play. This is Tony Hammer. Taken into the boards by Jamieson. Bankston threw the puck out in front. Gustafson races to it. Haberlach is there for Moorhead. They swat away at it, and so does Ryan Kraft, who clears it ahead. Here's Haberlach, 1-on-2. Cranks up. Hit shot is wide. Comes quickly out to the near point where Todd Hagen threw a backhander, but it was picked off by Cullen. Cullen working hard with Hammer, and finally Hagen comes away, and that's it for the Roseau power play. And Moorhead does an outstanding job peeling that one off. 7 minutes to play here in the second period. 1-0 Moorhead. Cullen plays it ahead for Salvabo. Couldn't get much on it. And now Lundbom sees the puck squirt by him. And here comes Frisch. Ryan Frisch shoots. Oh, my, that had some smoke. Can Cullen get the rebound off? No, he was tied up in front. That looked like a curveball, Tim, off front.
And Bolt had a lot of trouble with that. He got a big shot away, and I think it did knuckle a little bit on Bolt, and he really had trouble with it, and the rebound got away from him as well.
Now Gustafson. Moorhead in on the forecheck. That's Ryan Frisch taking Hammer into the boards. Lundbaum then answers the call with his own check. Now Ryan Kraft is taken off the play. The Rams look to break it out, but it's taken away at center ice by Louis Paquin. And Louis, says the Moorhead crowd. They got his own fan club here, the Louis Paquin fan club. They call him a devil in disguise, the little senior.
I think there's probably some of the opponents that might call Louis that as well. He was a real favorite last year down at the state tournament as well.
Icing the call there. 6:01 to play in the second period. Moorhead hanging on to their 1-0 lead. ABC Seamless Trivia coming up between periods 2 and 3. The Selland player of the game afterwards. And we'll hear from Terry Cullen. Grammer with a shot from the point, that whistle wide. Rebound opportunity in front, but Frisch was taken out of the play. Haberlach now battling with Hedlund behind the net. Now Grammer looked for Kraft, but it went past him, and Hedlund plays it ahead. Andy Hedlund, senior defenseman, and he is a big cruiser, isn't he, Tim?
Well, he sure is, and he's had a great senior year here, and we're curious to see what he'll do next year. He's, I'm sure, had some Division I interest, perhaps go the route that an awful lot of these high school players go these days and go for that year or two of development in the juniors. And the opportunities seem to come a little bit faster and more frequent out of those juniors than they do out of high school these days.
Moorhead's Terry Cullen getting the last change here and gets his lineup set the way he wants it with the face-off deep in the Roseau zone. Haberlach gets a stick on it against the far boards. Now Kraft has it. At the point, Joel Jamieson shoots it ahead for Kraft. Moving to the near circle behind the net. Here's Haberlach. He whacks away at it. In front, the puck is loose. Nobody's gaining control. Finally, Kraft throws a shot on front. Haberlach a rebound, and Paquin couldn't get a stick as the rebound squirted toward him. Now Kraft in front. Haberlach, Kraft again, whacking away at it. Wagner holds the zone and plays a shot in front, and Ross Bolt says enough of that.
Well, that was one of the few times that the Roseau defenseman got paralyzed by the puck, didn't knock people down, and gave second and third opportunities. Let's take a look at this. One shot, almost over to Paquin for the open net. They continue to work on the forecheck. Kraft cuts out in front, doesn't get the shot away. Haberlach with a shot. Another shot from the inside, and you see everybody standing around in there. That's a time when those defensemen having to be knocking people down, and Bolt wisely takes the face-off.
Roseau survives that flurry of activity in front of goalie Ross Bolt. 5 minutes to play in the second period. Now the Rams break out of the zone. Severson got a stick on it, but it's taken away by Josh Arnold. In across the blue line. High slot, he shoots, and Ross Bolt kicked it away with the pad. Now it's played to neutral ice. Salvold retreats, and that'll be an icing call with 4:41 to play in the period, and Ross Bolt continues to look sharp in nets for Roseau.
Well, you mentioned the word survive, and that's a little bit of what's happened here, but Roseau's done a great job of not giving up those second and third shots. They're clearing things away from the front of the net, and Bolt has been nothing short of outstanding. You know, he started a little slow this year. They were a little unhappy with him. He came on strong, and he's been absolutely superb tonight. Bruce Olson would not be too sorry to go into the locker room just down by one with all the opportunities Moorhead has had.
Arnold tried to get a stick on it to the left of Bolt. Bankston battles there along with Hammer. Jacobson is there also for Moorhead. Jacobson tries the wraparound, and that was deflected. Hagen now plays it ahead to neutral ice. Joel Jamieson flags it down for Moorhead. Gives to Salvold. He's tripped up on the play. He'll call, and play continues. Now Salvold again, but taken away by Hammer. His drive is errant and goes to the near corner. Now playing the far corner, and Troy Brecky sees that puck bouncing around in front of him and puts the squeeze on it. And we'll have more from the Moorhead Sports Center right after this.
Ross Bolt is the difference in holding Roseau in the hockey game at this point, and he shows again why here is Josh Arnold with a good shot Bolt with the nice split there, making the save, sending the puck off to the corner.
We play with under 4 minutes to go here in the second period. This is John Bufflin dumping it into the Moorhead zone. Aquin got a stick on it. It's nearly held in by Lundbom, but he had to retreat outside the zone. Now Grammer in control for Moorhead High, and that'll have force a stoppage in play.
Just a delayed offside there. It'll come out over the blue line, and you know, as a coach, you don't like to waste opportunities, and Moorhead has had more than their share of them in this hockey game. 1-0. Moorhead leads with 3:21 left in the second, and as Jim Lundbom, the assistant for Roseau, put to me, he said, we just want to be there coming into the third period because we know we've got our chance in, and that's exactly where they are right now, as Bolt's just doing a great job for Roseau.
Here's Rob Grammer, played it ahead to Brian Fritsch, who went off his stick. Foster turns it ahead to Lovejoy, 2-on-1. Lovejoy with a shot that knocked away, and Hokinson hit a weak hand rebound on net. Now Bufflin retreats for Roseau, and that'll force the whistle with under 3 minutes to play, but a pretty good opportunity there for Roseau. A quickly developing 2-on-1 as it would have turned out to be.
Nice transition, and let's take a look at it here. You see Foster, he tries to make the pass, comes away with it, and Holgenson was coming off on the side here, as you see, all by himself, and really wanted that pass badly. But the shot came. Brecky got a good look at it, and he made an easy save.
Lovejoy and Kraft facing it off to the right of Troy Brecky, who is unbeaten on the year at 16-0. Bufflin looks to hold it in. Frisch is scrapping away at it, and Frisch shoots it to the other end. Kraft battling Hedlund for the puck in the near corner. Hedlund wins that battle, turns it ahead, but it's taken away. Now Frisch gets his backhander in front, but it's knocked down and deflected. That deflection by Bufflin. Foster now shoots it ahead to neutral ice, and Justin Wagner retreats from Moorhead. Shoots it to the near boards. Lovejoy knocks it back into the Moorhead zone, and the Spuds once again retreat. This is Joel Jamison. Plays it ahead to Salvable at center ice. Greg Salvable dumps it in. And that's a delayed offside, and we'll bring the puck back out to neutral ice.
Well, Salvable came down, threw it in the zone. He actually ran into Arnold and knocked him across the blue line before the puck went in and created that offside.
Hi, Mom.
That's our security down there for Ron Wick. He's liking that duty tonight.
A lot of orange coat security here at the Moorhead Sports Center. Tony Hammer plays a backhander off the far boards at neutral ice, nearly taken away from Grammer. Grammer plays it off the far board, shoots it ahead to Salvable. Here's Greg Salvable moving in, and it's taken off his stick by Tony Hammer. And Salvable went hard into the boards, and he is getting up slowly. Play quickly back the other direction in the Moorhead zone. Hagen cranks up, and that's deflected by Grammer. Now Hammer throws a shot on that was wide. Winans now. Salvable gets a stick on it for Moorhead. Hagen just dumps the puck highly to neutral ice where Dan Frisch shoots a backhander into the Roseau zone. Matt Cullen, along with Hammer, are pinned in against the far boards. Cullen continues to work. Moves to the near circle. Still in control of the puck. Cullen shoots and scores. Oh, my! What an individual effort by the sophomore Matt Cullen. Holy cow!
And there you see a proud father. And this is just great offensive work. Look at the patience here. Doesn't throw it away, has nobody to pass it to, turns back inside, looks, comes back out, gets the quick shot away. And Ross Bolt has been tough, but he was unable to handle that one, and is that big. 1:09 left in the period, gives Moorhead a 2-0 lead. Look at the patience again, Dan. Great work by the sophomore center. You don't often see that kind of work inside by people that young. And Matt Cullen, a great second half of the season.
Oh, there is the super sophomore. Matt Cullen's 15th goal of the year, coming at 13:51. We saw a beautiful goal from him in the semifinal win over Thief River Falls, and this guy knows how to get on the highlight tape.
And the big goals, of course, that one against Thief River Falls with 8 seconds left in the period. This one with 1:09 left in a period that Moorhead has had more than their share of chances, but finally able to dent Ross Bolt. As you say, the super soft Matt Cullen.
Here comes Cullen again, playing at the crack. Hakron couldn't get a stick on it, but the Spuds were offsides. But what an important goal, Tim, because it comes late in the period after Roseau had played the Spuds pretty tight for most of the period.
Well, it's great momentum to carry the locker room if they can play out this 56 seconds. Roseau's done a great job of doing what they wanted to do, which was to hang on into that third period. And Bruce Olson sure doesn't like to look at a 2-goal deficit. A third could be a killer for them.
Cullen working in the draw along with Lovejoy, and Lovejoy is dragged down by Joel Jamison, and Jamison will head to the penalty box. No question about that one, Tim.
Well, and you know, a penalty is the greatest momentum changer in the game. We certainly saw that all last weekend in the North Dakota tournament,
didn't we?
And Roseau now just going down 2-0 has an opportunity on the power play to get it back to 2-1. And it would be particularly great for them if they could do it in this last 51 seconds of this second period.
We hope everybody in Roseau and War Road and Thief River Falls and all over Section 8 are enjoying our coverage tonight. We are sure happy to have it on the air. And if you like the television coverage of Section 8, drop us a note. We'd like to know how you feel about it. We'd love to do this again. Spuds clear of the zone. Just 35 seconds remaining in the period. ABC Seamless Trivia coming up between periods. Brett Garland will talk to Moorhead coach Terry Cullen, whose team leads 2-0. Foster in across the blue line, heads to the far circle, centering pass, and that was too far for Hokanson. Hokanson trying to play to keep the puck in, but it's cleared down to the opposite end by Ryan Kraft with 10 seconds to play in the period. But Roseau will have a considerable chunk of time in the power play when they come back for the start of the third period, and it looks like it'll be crucial for them as they head to the third period, trailing the Moorhead Spuds 2-0. Matt Cullen with another highlight reel goal, giving Moorhead the only goal of the period. It came at 13:51. It was Cullen's 15th goal of the year, and the super soft with 41 points. Brett Garland standing by ice side with Terry Cullen. Brett?
Terry, you finally got to Ross Bolt there. What a pretty goal that was.
That was really a big goal. I'll tell you, he's been stoning us for quite a while, and we needed something, and this is going to be a big one to take us into the third period.
What do you tell your kids now going into the third period with a 2-0 lead? You tell them to just hang on and you keep attacking.
We've got to do the same things that we've been doing. We've got to forecheck and make it really difficult for them to get out of their end. And we've got to make sure that we've got a back checker. And that's been our, that's been our plan all night long, to make sure that we have a back checker. And if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to beat us by going through us, not by outnumbering us.
All right, Terry, good luck the rest of the way. Thanks very much, Terry Cullen. 2-goal lead, ready to go back to the state tournament. At least he hopes. Guys, back upstairs to you.
It looks like that way so far, Brett, but we still have more hockey. Continuing coverage of the 1993 Section 8 Championship after this. Let's put the hockey trivia caps back on. Time for ABC Seamless Hockey 8 Trivia. Most Section 8 Championship games are tight like this one, but what is the largest margin of victory in the Section 8 title game? Back with the answer and more between period breaks. Material from the Moorhead Sports Center right after this. The ABC Seamless Section 8 Hockey Trivia. What is the largest margin of victory in a Section 8 title game, Tim?
Well, Bemidji beat Moorhead 10-0 in 1986. Of course, that was Moorhead's first trip to the finals, upset Warroad in the semifinals. And a great Bemidji team was led by George Palawa that year. And of course, so unfortunate, the accident. And George would have been a guy we would have been watching in the National Hockey League right now, except for that very, very unfortunate accident when he came into his freshman year at the University of North Dakota. But great player, and Bemidji had a very fine team led by Brian Grand that year.
And that was Moorhead's first appearance in the Section 8 title game. Well, here after two periods, the Spuds leading Roseau 2-0, and as you and I talked, goaltending play, outstanding on both ends of the ice, was really the story of that period.
It really was. And you take a look at the stats here, the saves, Moorhead Brecky with only 7 saves to 13 for both, but those were all high-quality saves. He was severely tested and was equal to the task in every one of those shots. At the other end, Bolt was outstanding, too. Of course, only letting the goal by the super soft Cullen get by him late in the period. Moorhead up 2-0 coming into this third period.
Moorhead scoring at 13:51. Just an outstanding individual effort by sophomore Matt Cullen.
Well, a lot of times for a sophomore, that puck is a hot potato. They're anxious to get rid of it. Cullen holds on, holds on, holds on, shows his maturity there, fires the shot away, and just beats Bolt, I think, through the 5-hole there. I think it just got through his pads there. We'll take another look at it here from a little better angle as he cuts back, kind of freezes the defense here, steps inside, and right through the 5-hole there. That was with 1:05 left in the second period, and it gave Moorhead their 2-0 lead.
It was Matt Cullen's 15th goal of the year. 2-0 after 2 periods. We'll have the third period from the Section 8 Hockey Championship game right after this. The Moorhead Sports Center is packed to the rafters tonight. More than 3,000 watching the Section 8 Championship. And what a thrill it is to be able to bring this into the homes of hockey fans throughout Section 8 country, Tim.
Well, it certainly is. It's a long time of coming, and of course hockey has had a great tradition in Section 8, and it's still hard for me to call it Section 8. It's still Region 8 to me. The guys that go back a long ways, and I know that all the hockey fans, there are thousands and thousands of them out there throughout the section, do appreciate the opportunity to sit at home and watch this one, because it's so darn hard to get into these finals.
That's
to begin
right.
with. You got to be here a couple hours early, and you know you're going to sit in a pretty confined space. But we've got a great third period ahead of us, and that first goal is going to be a complexion changer to whomever it goes to. 2-0 Moorhead coming into this period. They go up 3-0, and boy, she's going to be a mighty mountain for the Roseau Rams to climb. On the other hand, if Roseau, they've got a minute 10 of power play here, can get one early, they're right back in it with every opportunity to come out of this with their 27th trip down to St. Paul. The most in the state, the Roseau Rams. 26 times they've been down there. I believe Edina is second with right around 22. Of course, the odds don't look real good for Edina tomorrow, playing that great Bloomington-Jefferson team down at the Met Center.
You know, and what I think is special about Roseau in terms of leading the state in trips to the state tournament, you take a look at the size of the community and the commitment that that community has made to hockey. My gosh, Edina, before they split up at one point, East and West, was a huge school system. They had a legend coaching there in Willard Eichela, and still Roseau went to the state tournament year after year and won many state tournaments.
Well, commitment is the word. There's a total continuity of philosophy there. The entire community is very supportive of the philosophy. The kids have ample ice time and great coaching all throughout the system. On the other hand, of course, with that comes high expectations. And as I said to Bruce Olson before the game, kind of unusual for them to come into this as a slight underdog, but they've played very well. They're in a position to win this hockey game. It's very important for them on this power play opportunity to put one on the board and break through Troy Brecky. And as we talked about through the intermission, goaltending has really been the story of this whole game, because it hasn't been without its opportunities for both teams.
You talked about expectations, and those expectations have been heavy this year for Moorhead High. Last year, the Spuds, I don't want to call it a Cinderella story because they were a very talented hockey team, but it was their first section championship, and every game in the section title building up to that title game, and the title game itself was so special. There was so much emotion involved in it. This year, the team takes more of a business attitude toward it, but the fans almost expect this team to go back to the state tournament this year.
Well, the fans, Dan, have had Cinderella's carriage backed up to this building ever since the final was awarded to the Moorhead school system. They've got the glass slipper inside here, and they may have even tried it on Terry Cullen's foot a time or two. And they definitely have big expectations of this team coming into this game.
Matt Cullen and Jason Lovejoy face it off. Roseau on the power play for the next minute and 5, trailing 2-0. Matt Cullen steals, moves inside the blue line, gets around one defender, throws it to the far boards where Pakin throws a shot on Ross Bolt. He leaves it aside. Here's Greg Foster. Foster to the far side, and Andy Hedlund up the far boards. Hedlund across the blue line into the Moorhead zone. Looks to get the power play set up in the corner. It's Grammer getting a stick on it for Moorhead High. Arnold is also there. Arnold plays it to the far side. 35 seconds remaining in the Roseau power play, and Moorhead clears the zone. Bolt comes out and leaves it to neutral ice. Bufflin got a stick on it. Now it's Bankston. Bankston leaves it for Hagen, a drive. It's turned aside. Bufflin a rebound, and Brecky stops him in front as an outstanding save by Troy Brecky as John Bufflin came down the slot.
Oh, would Bufflin like to have another look at that? Let's take a look at the replay here. Here you see Bankston driving in the zone. Nice drop for Hagen. He gets the big shot away. Impossible for Brecky to control that rebound, and Bufflin is right there, takes the shot. Didn't have a lot to look at as Brecky stood up nicely and came out and cut the angle and was able to control that rebound. A couple of great opportunities on the power play here for Roseau early.
Tim, Troy Brecky only has 11 saves in this game, but gosh, I'd say 8-9 of those have been quality saves.
I honestly think, Dan, just about every one of them, I guess 8-9 would be, but he's been terrific. He is the story of this hockey game to this point.
Here's Kraft moving in. He put a shot and it went through the mouth of the goal. The Roseau power play is off. Moorhead's back at full strength with 13:45 to play here in the third period. Moorhead leading Roseau 2-0. Kraft tried a centering pass, but it was knocked down by Bankston. Now Hedlund plays it to the point. It squirts to neutral ice. Here's a 2-on-1. And a nice job by Ryan Frisch to deflect the pass. Bankston was hoping to receive it on the right wing. Severson with a stick on it now. Cullen drags down Bufflin. Roseau fans wanted a call, but play continues. Now Winans has it taken away by Jared Gustafson. Here's Tony Hammer. Bring it backhand to Matt Rodfeld. In along the near boards. Cullen is taken down. There'll be a penalty coming to Roseau as Matt Cullen was dragged down. The Spuds still attacking. Cullen in the near circle. Now Arnold at the point. Dan Frisch with a shot. It's deflected just wide. Cullen, I believe, was the guy who got the stick on it for the deflection. Cullen moves in front now. Shoots. Bolt makes the save. And finally, when Bolt makes the save, it brings the whistle. But Moorhead with good pressure. And now we'll head on the power play.
And that's Lundbaum that's going to go off on a cross-check. And you're not going to see the little freshman get an awful lot of penalties because he just got a little bit too much stick in there. And so Moorhead, what a great series of saves there again by Bolt. I think that shot by Frisch from the point might have even gotten a piece of the pipe there. And he had to come up big again against Matt Cullen as he once again almost a complete repeat of the sequence down below where he scored. Stepped out and got the shot on net, but Bolt was up with the save this time.
Here's Wegner at the point. Puts a shot on net. Paquin tried to feed it across the slot, but it was knocked down, and Bufflin plays it out of the zone. Here's Josh Arnold.
A goal for Moorhead here, Dan, could prove to be a killer. We've got 12 minutes left, 2-0 Moorhead, and they're on the power play.
Here's Haberlach, top of the circle, moving into the circle.
Offside.
Offside is the call there.
And a big call on the offside as Haberlach looked to be moving into a great spot to get the shot away. But Kenny Anderson, old coach out of Detroit Lakes, on the lines, the Eagle Eye. Two great young coaches, Terry Cullen and Bruce Olson, in this game. Both have done fine jobs in building these programs.
Olson, of course, used to coach Minot High School in North Dakota, and Cullen at one time was an assistant coach at Roseau for 1 year. Moorhead has 1:20 left in its power play. Greg Salvavold shoots it along the near board behind the net. Now Cullen in on it. Salvavold shoots it behind. Now Jim Jacobson gives to Cullen. It's just fun to watch him go to work. He had it knocked off the stick there, but, you know, he is so patient. Now Greg Foster moves in across the blue line. Rob Grammer is there first for Moorhead. Grammer surveys the ice and takes it up on the skate with 45 seconds remaining in the Spuds power play. Grammer across the blue line, heads to the far corner, has Salvavold in front. couldn't get it to him. Now Salvavold comes to retreat the puck along the near boards. He battles for it there with Gustafson. Hammer rings the boards and clears the zone with 25 seconds in the Moorhead power play. The Spuds leading 2-0.
Great job by Roseau killing this one off. They've kept everything in the perimeter, forced it. And Moorhead without any sort of an opportunity here with about 15 seconds left on their power play.
Wagner dumps it into the Roseau zone. Bolt turns it back the opposite direction. There's a drive. Bolt makes the save there, and the puck is shot to the near boards. Arnold backs it up, and that will do it for the Moorhead power play. And the Spuds didn't really get anything going in those 2 minutes of man advantage. 10:25 to play here in the third period. Now Todd Hagen looks for Severson. Severson tracks it down. He's pressured there by Joel Jamieson. Bankston has it now behind Troy Brecky. Bankston puts on the brake, centers a pass, but it was tipped by Jamieson. Hagen with a shot, and Troy Brecky makes the pad save there and covers up.
Well, there you see the strength of Todd Hagen as he sets himself up out in front. And the defenseman for Moorhead there just unable to control him. He gets nice pass here from Bankston. You see Hagen setting up inside. Bankston's looking. He sees Hagen, gets the pass away to him in front, and he just outpowers Jamieson. And Brecky once again forced to come up with another nice save. 10:03 left in this third period. Moorhead ahead of Roseau in this championship game of Section 8, 2-0.
A couple of youngsters were going to face it off, Cullen and Lundbom. That'll be Louis Paquin and Lundbom.
Old Louis might get himself thrown out of there, too, as Cullen already has been thrown out.
Well, they're going to give Louis one more try.
Louis says, get that stick of his down.
Frisch plays it near side to Grammer, who shoots it through neutral ice, and Bolt shoots it to the near boards. This is Winans now. Plays it in deep to Cullen. Cullen hit hard in the board by Lundbom, and Bufflin has it now for Roseau. Headman pass. And that was Matt Rothfeld shooting into the Moorhead zone. What a story, number 10, Dan Frisch of Moorhead High. What a tough luck. Missed the state tournament last year because of a severed ankle tendon. Missed his sophomore year because of a hip injury. He's been nothing but tough luck, but he's healthy this year, and nobody on this Moorhead team would love and appreciate a trip to the state tournament this year than Dan Frisch.
And certainly no one has worked harder, probably anywhere in the section, to get there than he has through his rehab.
Joel Jamieson gets a stick on it for Moorhead now along the near boards right in front of us. Jim Jacobson retreats along with Justin Wagner. Wagner, headman pass to Josh Arnold, and up come the Moorhead Spuds. Salvable down the right wing, ran into one of the officials. That knocked him off the play. And Foster is in control now for Roseau. Plays it far side for Severson. Check it, that's Hokinson. He centers, but that pass was a little wide, and back comes Moorhead. Salvable at center ice, 1-on-2. Couldn't get around Tommy Hammer. He stripped him of it. Here comes Bankston. Bankston racing in, put a weak backhander on net. It's turned aside by Brecky. Now here's Frisch, 2-on-2. Frisch, his shot whistled wide. He had Haberlach to the left of him, decided to take the shot. Quickly back comes Hagen the other way for Roseau. Puck is free in front, and Troy Brecky wisely covers up. We break away from the Moorhead Sports Center. The Spuds leading Roseau 2-0. North Central Conference basketball tournament in Sioux Falls. The Sioux go to the championship game, beating Morningside tonight in the semis 78-77. Here at the Moorhead Sports Center, Moorhead High and Roseau playing for the Section 8 championship. The winner plays Cloquet in the final game of the opening round next Thursday at the St. Paul Civic Center. Here's Rob Grammer. In behind his goalie, Troy Brecky. Tried to play it ahead, a one-off his skate. Louis Paquin gets a stick on it now, and Grammer reassumes control. Now Paquin, ridden into the boards by Andy Hedlund. Frisch gets a stick on it. Grammer turned it ahead, and at center ice, it's Todd Hagen. Bankston fanned on that pass. He wanted to dump it into the Moorhead zone. Dan Frisch got a stick on it. Now here's Hagan. Cranks up and he shot it wide. I don't think Brecky got a piece of that, did he, Tim?
No, he sure didn't.
Shot was just plain old wide.
It looked like it was ticketed, but it was just wide.
Paquin now, in behind the net. The disguise, or a devil in disguise, rather, is how they label Louis Paquin here at the Moorhead Sports Center. Oh, Mioneer deflection in front. Moorhead now hemming the puck into the Moorhead zone, and now it's played to center ice, and Hedlund whistles a shot that nearly went in after it bounced behind the net. Did you see that?
That obviously caught Brecky by surprise, and he fumbled with it, and that one almost went in. And boy, the first real long sustained pressure by Roseau on the forecheck here, and creating a couple opportunities, and they just missed.
I want to see this, Tim.
Well, Hedlund has a big shot, and everybody's just taking up. He's probably just trying to keep track of that. It comes back off the backboard there. And that wasn't the one that he fumbled with, but boy, it was close.
Arnold and Lovejoy to face it off. Moorhead fans on their feet with 6:45 to play. Spuds leading 2-0. Jacobson nearly took it away. Salvavol battling there for Moorhead High. Now along the near boards, it's Josh Arnold. Hemmed in by Tony Hammer. Jason Lovejoy now. His pass is picked off by Salvavol, who plays it behind Ross Bolt. Arnold takes it away. And now Foster clears it to neutral ice. John Haberlach at 11:37 of the first period, and Matt Cullen at 13:51 of the second period. That's the only scoring of this game. Foster stood up on that play by Jamison. Nice job defensively by Joel Jamison, and here comes Haberlach streaking down the left. 2-on-1. He has Frisch. Haberlach shoots and scores! John Haberlach, his second of the night. It's 3-0 Moorhead.
Well, and Moorhead has just won a couple more foot races tonight than Roseau has, and this is another one of those occasions. And Haberlach was away basically alone with Ryan Frisch. Both had to play Frisch somewhat along the way here, and you see a little hesitancy on his part to play Haberlach. He takes advantage of it right through the 5-hole. That's the second one of those tonight for the Spuds. Both in a little bit deep, and I'm sure he had to think pass there on the way in. And that one might be the backbreaker with 5:58 left in the third.
It sure might be. 9:02, the official time of the goal. Haberlach's 21st of the year, and what a couple of back-to-back games John Haberlach has had. The hat trick against Thief River on Tuesday night in the semis, and 2 goals tonight. And there you see Haberlach along the Moorhead bench, just a junior.
Played a little senior hockey with his father, Don. He was one of the last guys, Dan, to play goalie without a mask. And as you can see, the kid's a little bit better looking. And we've got a breakdown there as a timeout's been called by Roseau. We'll take advantage of this to take a break ourselves. We'll be back at the Moorhead Coliseum in just one moment. Well, Tom McFarland apparently thinks he's seen enough, because we just saw the Cloquet coach head out of the rink. He must obviously think that he knows who he's playing come next Thursday night in the final game down at the St. Paul Civic Center, Dan.
Yeah, he took the exit just now, and barring an incredible comeback by Roseau, looks like Moorhead will defend its section championship.
Well, obviously, Roseau's going to have to take some chances. They're going to have to, I'm sure that's what Bruce Olson was just talking to them about. They have to get one quickly in order to have any chance here as the clock begins to work against them.
Here's Severson now in the near corner, pressured by Jim Jacobson. Hedlund is also there for Roseau. Bufflin gets a stick on it, has it taken away by Josh Arnold. Arnold moves in front. Jacobson couldn't get much of a shot off as Severson had him tied up in the near circle deep in the zone. Grammer plays it ahead to Arnold. Salvavol had it knocked off his stick by Bufflin, and now Grammer retreats from Moorhead. Grammer, a junior also.
And he's had a great game tonight. Very, very strong back at defense. Probably been the strongest defenseman back there for the Moorhead Spuds tonight.
Frisch is dragged down on the play. Yeah, I think Rob Grammer is an all-section pick, both by Rink Inc., TV 11, and Team Sports in their poll, and also by the section coaches. Kraft tried to play it across to Frisch, but that was batted down at neutral ice. Now Gustafson. Headman pass for Foster. Checked there by Grammer. Gustafson retreats and again plays it to Foster. He throws it rink wide. Centering pass in front. Lovejoy, a backhander that floated wide of the net and out in front of Troy Brecky. And here comes Haberlach giving to Kraft. Ryan Kraft down the left wing into the circle, centering for Paquin. And Ross Bolt comes up with an outstanding save on Louis Paquin's opportunity.
Great pass by Kraft. Equally a strong save by Bolt. And we've seen just tremendous goaltending at both ends of the ice tonight. There you see the pass, and Paquin is right there. And I think Louis thought he had it. But Bolt slides across and makes the save. And I happen to notice one of the better goaltenders in Section 8, Toby Kavalivod, clapping his hands behind the net there for the fraternal goaltender Ross Bolt there, as he got an awful good look at a great save there by Bolt.
Now here comes Bankston. Bankston has Hagen, but Bankston is dragged down on the play. And back comes Moorhead, Cullen. Now Hagen playing it to neutral ice for Roseau, or Bankston takes over, and he backs up into his own zone, then plays it to Bufflin. Bufflin ridden into the boards there. And Matt Cullen moves in across the blue line. We're under 4 minutes to play in the third period. Moorhead leading Roseau 3-0. Salvovold couldn't get a quality stick on it, and now pass intercepted. Jacobson in the slot, shoots. Where is the puck, says Ross Bolt. He finds it and covers up.
Wow, every time Bolt turns around here, he's facing another quality chance. And the turnover here, right up the middle. You never want to see that pass made. Jacobson picks it off, steps in, and Bolt with another nice job, standing up, cutting the angle off, makes the save and controls the rebound. 3:27 left here. Roseau down by 3 here in the championship game of Section 8. And Moorhead is winning all the foot races at a real critical stage of this game, Dan.
Yeah, they have shown their quickness advantage here, especially in the third period, Tim. Always regarded as the quickest team in Section 8. Team that relies on its speed and its puck handling ability. Lovejoy battling Grammer. Grammer throws him into the board and tries to come away with the puck. Jacobson hammers away, and finally it's Josh Arnold for Moorhead. He's pinned into the boards by Greg Foster. Lovejoy battling, and Jason Lovejoy comes away with it through a pass over to Ryan Hokinson. Now Jim Jacobson has it. He spots a man rink wide. It's Salvovold. Salvovold dragged down. Arnold gets a stick on it. Far circle. He shoots the net wide. 2:35 to play.
Penalty coming on Moorhead.
Let's see who it's against.
It's a high sticking call, and I'm not sure who that's going to go against. And obviously the Moorhead Spuns aren't either, because no one's making their way to the box.
No,
Bill Mason has made the call. He's going to have to go over and search somebody out there, as I believe that's going to go against Arnold, as he'll make his way across the box. So 2:32 left here. The last gasp of chance here for Roseau. They need to get one very quickly on the power play, and then see if they can pull their goaltender and do something to peck away at this 3-goal disadvantage that they look against here with 2:30 left in this hockey game.
Here's Haberlach now. Moorhead attacking shorthanded. Kraft and Hammer race to the puck. Severson takes it away. Severson working along the near boards, pressured there by Kraft. Finally, Tony Hammer has it. Plays it to the far boards, and Shane Bankston. Now here's Todd Hagen. He falls down on the play, and Joel Jamieson knocks it into the Roseau zone. Hammer now gives to Severson. Brecky plays it to the near boards. Bankston ridden into the boards by Wagner. Hagen is behind the net, but he has it taken away by Wagner. puck bouncing around, switching directions a couple of times as it finally ended up on the far side. Now Bankston trying to move in 1-on-3. And Joel Jamieson is there. He clears the zone with 1 minute to go in the Roseau power play and 1:30 to go in the Section 8 championship. Foster. Now Lovejoy inside the Moorhead zone. Far circle, weak shot in front. Foster backhander, oh, and he couldn't score. Greg Foster had an opportunity, though. Now here's Hedlund fanning on a drive. Hokinson with a shot that Brecky makes the squeeze on. It was knocked away from him, but he did make the save to force the whistle with 1:06 to play in the third period, and Spud fans will be making that drive down I-94 to the St. Paul Civic Center.
Well, all the conversation throughout the year is about Moorhead's offense, but they have done a great job defensively tonight, denying Roseau very many opportunities throughout the second half of this game particularly. And the opportunities that they did have, Troy Brecky has just been terrific for them tonight. A great defensive showing. Took advantage of their opportunities when they got them, despite some great goaltending at the other end of the rink. And you're right, Dan, with 1:06 left, it's pretty obvious who will be making that trip down to play Cloquet in a final game next Thursday night in the St. Paul Civic Center.
Kraft and Hokinson face it off in the circle to the right of Brecky. Off the draw. Bufflin lost control of it. Now the Rams will have to back it up, and that whistle will bring the puck
offside is called.
Back down into the Roseau zone as goalie Ross Bolt has been pulled from the game, but now he must return with the face-off deep in the Rams zone. 24 seconds remaining in the Rams power play. Could be insignificant, though, even if they do score, because they're at a big disadvantage here, down by 3 with less than a minute to play.
Well, and Moorhead, of course, I'm sure will play close to the vest, try and take that shutout into the locker room for Troy Brecky, the senior goaltender.
Junior goaltender, another year.
He's a good one. He's going to have lots of folks around watching him next year.
Louis Paquin gets a stick on it for Moorhead. He battles Bufflin for the puck. Now Hedlund takes it away. Andy Hedlund down the near boards. Senior defenseman. Spud's back at full strength. Paquin shoots it ahead to Arnold. It went off his stick.
Penalty going to be called away from the play. There's a late hit on Lovejoy by Grammer, and he'll go off with 28 seconds left. We'll see what the call is here from Casalter on an interference as Lovejoy, quite a ways away from the play, hit hard by Grammer. Penalty that won't mean a lot, obviously, in terms of the rest of this game, other than the fact that I would suspect Bruce Olson will pull Bolt out and throw 6 against 4 and try and at least break that goose egg that's up on the board underneath the name of the Roseau Rams.
It's going to be a sweet victory for Moorhead. We talked about the high expectations that this team has shouldered from day one of the season. Not only their fans, but a lot of people in Section 8 saying that this would be the team that would represent Section 8 in the state tournament. And they will indeed do so. Their only loss of the year coming to defending state champion Bloomington Jefferson. Here's a drive in front that's knocked down by Bolt. Spud's beaten by Jefferson 7-2 in the championship game of the Met Center Classic. The Spuds fans counting down the final seconds. 1 second to play. That's it. Moorhead High is the 1993 Section 8 hockey champion.
Come together. A great hockey game, a great season for both teams. Very well coached. A load of pressure off the shoulders of the 2 carries, Cullen and Kirkliff, and off their players, as you mentioned, Dan. Great expectations all the way down throughout the season, culminated by a victory tonight in their backyard. The Moorhead Sports Center, where all these kids grew up. And this is a program that's grown up together through the efforts of these two coaches who have had a big part of the development of all these kids since they were down at the 5- and 6-year-old level. So it's a real great evening for Moorhead hockey history.
Well, Terry Shercliffe, the now assistant coach, was head coach at one time, and he has watched this group of kids closely since they were very young, and now watching them go back to the state tournament. And Brett Gullen is down on ice level with Terry Cullen. Brett?
Terry, first of all, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Our boys worked really hard to get this. You're absolutely right. The pressure on this team at the beginning of the season was phenomenal. I mean, to come through it with just one loss into the top-ranked team in the state, that says a lot about this bunch, doesn't it?
I'll tell you, these guys have a lot of character. They really do. And, you know, some nights it doesn't come as easy as others, and tonight might have been one of those where we had to work for everything we got. Troy Brecky was outstanding in the net, and the rest of them played really hard and really well in front.
Your offense usually gets most of the attention on this team, but defensively, the defense of this team has really been the key to your success all season, hasn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, you're not going to be very good unless you play well in your own end, and we think our team plays very well in our end.
How long do you celebrate this one before you think about Cloquet?
Oh, a couple days. We got a day or two to enjoy. I think we earned that. We'll go from here. We'll be back at her Monday.
You certainly did earn that, Terry. Congratulations on a great season, and good luck in the state tournament. All right, Dan, back upstairs to you.
Thank you, Brett. The Moorhead players continuing to celebrate at ice level, and what a fine season for Bruce Olson and the Roseau Rams, who finish up at 17-8, reaching the title game again in Section 8. And this team, it seems like they do it year after year. And let's return to the ice and Brett Garland.
All right, thanks. I'm with one of the heroes of today's game, John Haberlach. And John, officially your first goal is the game winner, but that third one really broke their back.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Describe it for us.
I don't know, it's just, I picked it up, and I saw Kraft give it to me, and I picked it up, and I knew I had him beat, and I just drove around him, and I pulled it in, and the goalie's 5-hole opened it up, and I put it through.
Did you know it was over when you scored that goal?
Yeah, I think that was a big key right there, after getting that third one.
Talk about the pressure on this team at the beginning of the season, and it come through like you did.
Yeah, there was expectations, but we knew what we had to do, and we just had to go and work every day and improve and get better. And
you had a tremendous tournament. I mean, you scored the hat trick the first night, and tonight you came through with 2 goals. You feel good, obviously.
It's a great feeling, great feeling.
Good luck at the state tournament,
Thanks,
John. All right. Let me get over here to another one of the heroes of tonight's game. And with Louis Paquin, a senior captain on this team. And Louis, I mean, 2 times in a row for you, buddy. How's it feel?
Feels good. It's nice to know that we had a lot of younger guys who worked hard and came in big. Matt Cullen had a big goal for us in the second period, and nice to know that we tired them down, and it's good to know that we're in that good of shape to tire a good team like Roseau down.
You mentioned the younger players coming through, but you older players really had a tough job this year with the pressure on this team to those expectations to uphold. I mean, was your job tougher this year?
Yeah, it definitely was. I've said all along that the pressure's greater. You got people telling you, you know, you're supposed to win, you got to win. You know, what can you do? That's obviously more pressure. It's not a new thing for us. We've been here before. And we were definitely the favorites tonight. Unlike last year, you know, we came in, we were the underdogs. It's easier coming in as an underdog.
At the end of the game, Louis, you didn't quite jump into the celebration with the rest of your teammates. You kind of took a little more serious approach. Explain a little bit.
Well, I expected to win this one. We didn't expect to lose. So I was ready for the win, and I've always been like that.
All right, Louis, best of luck to you in the state tournament.
Thanks.
Nice job tonight. Dan, back upstairs to you.
Okay, thank you, Brett, and we'll hear from goalie Troy Brecky, I'm sure, here in a little bit. But first, let's have the presentation of awards to the Roseau Rams and the Section 8 champions, Moorhead Spuds.
To the runner-up team, the Roseau Rams, the coaches, Jim Lundbaum and Bruce Olson, will present the medals to each individual player. Number 1, Ryan Vattensdahl. Number 3, Kevin Winslow. Number 3, Jason Hansen. Number 4, Andy Hedlund. Number 5, Matt Rotfeld. Number 6, John Bufflin. Number 7, Greg Foster. Number 8, Tony Hammer. Number 9, Jared Gustafson. Number 10, Jason Lovejoy. Number 11, Ryan Håkansson. Number 12, Scott Severson. Number 14, Shane Bankston. Number 15, Todd Hagan. Number 16, Andy Lundbaum. Number 17, Andy Jensen. Number 18, Brian Lundbaum. Number 19, Aaron Stumlin. Number 20, Robert Moser. And number 30, Ross Bolt. At this time, we'd like to call on head coach Terry Cullen of the championship Spuds to hand out the individual medals. Assisting Coach Cullen will be assistant coach Terry Shercliffe. Number 3, Rob Grammer. Number 4, Brent Knutson. Number 5, Josh Arnold. Number 6, Justin Wagner. Number 7, Matt Cullen. Number 8, Jim Jacobson. Number 10, Dan Frisch. Number 11, Scott Winans. Number 12, Jason Redfield. Number 13, Joel Jameson. Number 14, Rory Porton. Number 15, John Haberlach. Number 16, Greg Salvavoy. Number 17, Ryan Frisch. Number 19, Ryan Pratt. Number 21, Jared Anderson. Number 22, Louis Bateman. Number 27, Troy Brecky. Number 33, Jeremy Gregoire. At this time, we would like to call on Dan Fabian, Region 8 Committee member to present the runner-up trophy and the championship trophies. Will the captains of the Roseau Rams please come forward to accept your runner-up trophy for Section 8, 1993 Tier 1 Hockey. Champions, the Moorhead Spuds, please accept your championship trophy.
Rob Grammer waving that Moorhead flag around in joyous celebration. And the minute the Spuds got that team trophy, they went right over to their fans and shared it with them as they defend their Section 8 hockey championship, beating Roseau 3-0. We'll continue our post-game show right after this. Welcome back to the Moorhead Sports Center. The Spuds are the section champions, and Troy Brecky tossed the shutout tonight, his third shutout of the season. He's now 17-0 on the year.
Oh, it was just tremendous all throughout this game. Every time they needed the big save, he was there for them. And let's hear what he has to say. Down to you, Brett.
Guys, I mean, when you're talking heroes of this game, none stand out more than this guy, Troy Brecky. And Troy, this has got to be what you dream of, pitching a shutout in a big game like this.
Yeah, ever since I was little, I always dreamed about this. Me and Ryan Kraft would always play hockey in his basement, and same with Josh Arnold. And this is all we ever thought about was this, and this is a dream come true.
How'd you feel tonight? Did you see the puck pretty well? Obviously, I mean, you pitched a shutout.
Yeah, right away I got a few shots, not like, you know, other games, and right when I got the first couple shots, I felt solid, and I knew I was going to be on my game.
It was tough, though, wasn't it? Because, I mean, you only had 3 shots in the first period, and was it hard to stay sharp?
Yeah, it was, because they'd come down on flurries, and then we'd be down in their end for 5-6 minutes, and they'd come down on more flurries. So it was, yeah, it was really tough.
Let me ask you this. There's a little bit of celebrating going on, but to me, I get the feeling that there's a little more to play for here, and it seems like you're taking a pretty business-like approach to this whole thing.
Yeah, last year we were a lot more, you know, happy because it was our first time, and now we want to go out and we want to prove something at state, and I don't think our team will be happy unless we have a state championship.
Well, best of luck to you at that state tournament.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great game tonight, Troy Brecky.
Thank you.
All right, let me bring in Dan Frisch here. Dan, this has got to be extra special sweet for you.
Yeah, it's real special. I've never been in this situation before. It feels great. Played a good game.
I know yesterday you were telling us that, you know, all the injuries you had to battle back from. I mean, this has to make it all worthwhile.
Yeah, it really does. I worked hard all summer and worked hard for this moment, and it's a great feeling.
Talk about the game and what you thought were some of the keys to the win. Obviously, John Haberlach played a nice game for us.
Yeah, he played a great game. He really got the puck to the net and got it in the net, so thought we played great in the offensive end and defensively. So
your defense, though, has been doing it all year.
Yeah, well, I guess we try.
Your thoughts now heading to the state tournament. I was just talking to Troy Brecky. It seems like this team is very businesslike right now.
Yeah, we're trying to put things together, things that we've learned all year, and it's starting to come around naturally now. We're just trying to work hard and keep our work ethic up.
But hey, you guys can celebrate. You just won the section title here.
Yeah, it feels great. I don't know how to act.
Well, act like you had a good time because
right.
You sure played a heck of a game.
All right.
Good luck at the state tournament.
Thanks.
That's Dan Frisch, a senior who more than deserves to be in this situation after the injuries he's had to battle back from. Dan and Tim back upstairs.
Thank you, Brad. And for the fans who maybe had joined us late, the reason Dan is enjoying this trip to the state tournament so much is that he missed last year's state tournament. He was sidelined with a severed ankle tendon, and he missed his sophomore year because of a hip injury. So this is a guy who has been haunted by injuries, but tonight can taste the sweet success of a section championship and a trip to the state.
Well, it's a storybook type of thing, and, you know, I have to kind of laugh because the Moorhead players are so reflective of their coach, Terry Cullen. They're businesslike. They're already looking ahead. They came into the game with a quiet confidence, and they executed the way they had to, and they're going back down to St. Paul as a result of it.
Our Selland player of the game is next. Welcome back to the Moorhead Sports Center, and Tim, our Selland Superstore player of the game.
Well, we did players of the game last weekend at the North Dakota High School tournament, and they were real cut and dried for us in every game. And this one, it was tough. Troy Brecky is our player of the game. Through the shutout, as Brett mentioned a couple times in his conversation with him, came up with the big save whenever he had to in this hockey game. And the other two guys that we probably could have selected and not had a lot of criticism for it, Ross Bolt was just phenomenal down at the other. Was really a goaltender's night. Both of them were good. Perhaps Brecky a little bit better coming up with the shutout. And, of course, John Haberlach with the 2 goals, a hat trick on Tuesday night coming into this game. It was a tough selection, but Troy Brecky is our player of the game.
And Selland Superstore, in honor of Troy Brecky being named the player of the game, will donate $100 to the Moorhead Athletic Association. Troy Brecky, the Selland Superstore player of the game. Let's go back to Brett Garland.
All right, thanks, guys. One of the toughest parts is to have to talk to the coach of the losing side, but Bruce Olson, I'm sure you're disappointed in the outcome, but you obviously can't be disappointed in the effort.
No, that's for sure. I mean, that's pretty typical of the effort we've been receiving all year from this group of athletes from Roseau. They just never say die and just from day one work very, very hard and never give up. And I think you saw that in tonight's game.
This is one heck of a game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. You know, as far as we were concerned, we did a great job defensively. We knew we were going to have to score some goals on Moorhead. Obviously, they're going to score some, and we just needed that one goal at that one right time to give us a little extra spark to get some momentum.
You just about got that. That long blast there from the blue line was this close to going in. I mean, I know you don't want to mull over things like that, but you know, something like that could really turn that thing around, couldn't it? Well,
yeah, that's right. That's exactly what you needed, and obviously give Moorhead credit because they didn't allow us to give us any of those breaks. You know, they're a very quick, aggressive team, and you know, just overall very strong. But that's that one little break that we needed, and they just didn't allow us to get that.
You expect Moorhead to be this tough defensively?
Oh, yes, because when you have that type of speed and you're able to forecheck and pinch your defenseman down there, you know, you spend 30 seconds or so in your own end. You don't have much offensively left to give in the other end, so it makes it pretty easy to play defensive hockey when you're out against a tired unit from the other team.
I know your kids are a little disappointed, but nothing to be ashamed of. They played a heck of a game, and congratulations on a great season, Bruce.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, back upstairs to you.
Thank you, Brett. Tim, you have a couple of thoughts on Bruce Olson?
Well, what a classy guy, you know. Of course, you had a chance to watch him do some great things for the Minot program.
Sure.
Went back home, the Roseau native, and took over a program that he was a part of that tradition. A program that has a lot of dignity and a lot of pride, and they're very classy in losing. You don't see them do things on the ice that are not reflective of the community and that great tradition. And the words tonight indicate what a great guy Bruce is and what a good program he comes from. And they will be back here, you know, soon. Again, 26 appearances in the state tournament, the most of any high school in the state, and they'll be back.
And the most appearances in the Section 8 championship game. We'll return to the Moorhead Sports Center. The Moorhead High Spuds are the Section 8 hockey champions, 3-0 winners over the Roseau Rams. Welcome back to the Moorhead Sports Center. Tim, I think hockey moms have a special place upstairs when their day comes because they put up with a lot, they support their kids a lot, and being the mother of a hockey mom is difficult at times.
Well, they get a little nervous sometimes. Some handle a little bit different than others, but whoever they are, you got to love them. And Brett's got one proud hockey mom down there with him right now. Let's go down to him.
You said something a little special upstairs, or maybe they're missing a little something upstairs. I'm with the player of the game's mother, Linda Brecky, mother of Troy Brecky, and you must be awfully proud right now.
Yes, I sure am. Pretty nervous, but we're proud of them.
Nervous is probably the understatement. Tell them the story of last year's tournament when you drove all the way to Thief River, got on the bus, hopped there, didn't even get off it.
Well, there were just too many people around, and I just thought, I'll stay on the bus and listen to it on the radio, which I did.
But you managed to make it here tonight. What swung you?
I was working, and so I was able to keep busy and keep running back and forth. And it's hard on mothers, too.
And especially hard on Linda, because I have to tell everyone that Linda's not only battling nerves right now, she's also battling pneumonia, which has to make it extra special tough on your nerves.
Yes, it is, and running back and forth to the remote truck was hard also.
Don't cough on the microphone. I get close up there. I'm just kidding. Now tell us about the state tournament. What are your plans there? You plan on driving all the way to the cities and then sit in the car, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to go down this year, and I'm going to go to all 3 games because they are going to play in the state championship game. And I plan on attending all 3 games this year.
Is Troy anything at all like you? Is he this nervous too?
Yes, he is. Very, very nervous.
But he handles it a lot better. He played one whale of a game tonight.
Well, if I put skates on, I might too.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think being a mother of a hockey player is tough enough, but being the mother of a goalie's got to be the worst.
I think so, but I'm sure the defenseman's parents and the forward's parents are, that's hard on them too because they're waiting for them to make the goals, and it's got to be tough on them too.
Well, Linda, I'm going to let you go. Go back home, crawl into bed, get healed up for the big state tournament.
Thank you. Thank you, Brett.
Linda Brecky, mother of Troy Brecky, and I'll tell her to bring the radio along this weekend just in case.
Yes, indeed. And Linda was telling me earlier today that Troy was very nervous last night, had a tough time getting any rest and any quality sleep, and probably the same goes for most of the players who played in this section championship game tonight.
There's some great stories about goalies, their nerves and the little things that they do and what have you. And obviously Troy is one of them. And you have to love them to listen to those mothers talk about their sons, don't you?
Yeah, and we talked about the Louis Paquin fan club earlier tonight. We told you about that, and Louis Paquin's dad joining Brett Garland now.
Thanks very much, fellas. Louis Paquin fan club, you got the sweatshirt on. You didn't start that club, did you?
No, I did not. The boys down in Sportland started it.
But you're glad to be a part of it, I'm sure.
Very, very much so. I really enjoyed the year.
I bet. I mean, what a year. I mean, did you make it to most of the games this year?
I didn't miss a one. I don't think I've missed more than 2 in the last 4 years, if that many.
And you're getting ready for the state tournament. One thing that impresses us about Louis, about your son, is his business-like approach to everything. He doesn't get real high, doesn't get real low about anything. You get that from you?
I don't know. I kind of hope so. But I always try to keep a level playing with everybody, not too much extreme either way, and hope that the children follow.
How much of his hockey skill did he get from you?
Probably the determination or the drive. I don't know. They always call me a workaholic.
And Louis definitely is that. I don't know if there's anyone in that team that works as hard as Louis Paquin. He's a heck of a player, and I didn't know if you noticed, but he didn't really take part in a whole lot of celebration down there. Do you know why?
No, well, he's had his turn last year, I guess I would say, and he felt that his teammates should have it and share it, and it was for them this year, because this is his last year, and like I said, last year is his turn.
Well, it's your turn to go back to the state tournament. Congratulations. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back upstairs to you.
Well, Dan, it was a classic matchup. The program with the oldest tradition in Section 8 against the one that's developing the newest tradition in Section 8. Moorhead wore that favorites mantle all season long, and they wore it very well tonight as they walk away with that 3-0 victory in a great hockey game over the Roseau Rams.
The Moorhead Spuds will face Cloquet in the opening round of the state hockey tournament next Thursday in St. Paul. Congratulations to the Moorhead Spuds, the Section 8 champions. For Brett Garland and Tim O'Keefe and everybody behind the scenes, thanks for being part of it tonight. We sure were glad, and we sure are happy to bring the Section 8 hockey championship game to you for the first time ever on TV. And let's hope we make it a steady date with you every March. From the Moorhead Sports Center, I'm Dan Hammer saying good night.